what was it like seeing how your friends who you've known since you were 14 become the biggest producer, the producers? You're talking about the Neptunes, and you're also talking about Timbaland. Do you then think, man, maybe I should have gone in more production and writing and been part of that? Or what goes through your mind?
No, I think that it's all about purpose, man, and calling.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? What are you designed to do? Who are you? You know what I mean? The Bible says that the thief of joy is comparison. You don't compare yourself to other people. You ask yourself who you created to be and what are you called to do. So if it brought me joy to see that and fulfillment to see people that fulfill their purpose and what they dreamed of doing, man. It was never that because guess what? See, that's where people make mistakes, and I think that the world is in that state too. They just see somebody do something and think that's what they're. That don't mean that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
Just because you know that person, you know what I'm saying. So, what is it that God crafted and designed you to do?
So in the midst of all that time, seeing both Timberland and the Neptunes just blowing up, you're there rooting for them. You're not like, man, did I miss my chance? You no,
No,
no.
who wouldn't be? Why would you, unless you're a hater?
No.
You don't watch Michael Jordan and be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? You want that person to win, and you feel good about it, even when you know we got back up years later after Tammy had hooked me and Pharrell back up. It's always love. You know what I'm saying?
Now, how did that happen? What do you mean? Did she reach out to you or?
We linked back up back when he had came back to Virginia to do a Shag Fest event. And we just sat and talked for like hours, like we had never not spoken for years. Because it's not just about the music, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
It gets deeper than that.
yeah.
But like I said, even with that situation with the Hidden Figures record, because we started working together again on some gospel inspirational stuff. So that turned into a blessing for me. So I was happy about it.
So was the record on the Hidden Figures soundtrack? Was it Mike Etheridge featuring Pharrell or Pharrell featuring you? Was it what was it?
It was my record, but he was gonna do a remix for a record for me that I had called It's Gonna Be All Right. I've been releasing independent music, never stopped on my own label. So he heard the record and was gonna do a remix for it, but it ended up to where we allowed him to use the record for himself on a group. So that's how that ended up. But it ended up for me continuing to get paid for perpetuity.
Were you ever were you ever part of NERD?
No, 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 no. That was more of a rock thing. Never was a part of that.
Okay. Okay. The how do you keep yourself? How did you then keep yourself in the midst of that busy time at Future, where Blackstreet's blowing up? Um, I mean, I'm sure especially after the Another Level album, are you as artists at Little Man Records thinking, oh, Queen Pin, yep, oh man, we can't wait to come out. It's gonna we're on a hot streak here. I mean, I'm thinking, what was it like being an artist at Little Man when No Diggity is number one in the country and going, 4 or 5 times platinum?
It's a great time, you know. I mean, you definitely excited because you know your time is coming. But once the Interscope situation happened, we kind of knew. You just
That was
know.
that was um that was from the Finally album. So, but so yeah, so that was on the Finally album. But you must be riding high with the Blackstreet album going double platinum, then the follow up going almost 5 times platinum. You guys must have been like thinking, man, we can't. Well, this is good. This is
Oh yeah, it was like Tad was probably like Diddy at that point before Bad Boy. He was what he was doing with that whole little man situation. with Blackstreet and all that. It just, I think again, what he was talking about earlier with him, it was more so the left brain, right brain situation. He probably would have still had that label and everything, still probably, if he could have kept his hand on everything, but he was such a genius creative musically. I just think that he didn't have the right administration there. But other than that, it would have been the same thing as any of these others. They just had more of the business acumen. You know what I mean? Because he had the same thing going on.
You think he? I mean, when I'm a massive Teddy fan, and I always used to, and I've always thought that being part of Blackstreet, because initially it was Blackstreet featuring Teddy, and the fact that he decided to be part of Blackstreet, I thought that had an impact on the label really picking up, because he was so busy with and being in Blackstreet that he couldn't, even though he could do some production on the road. But I think once you're part of something like that, it's hard to then start to put you out, focus on other things. You being there, did you think that if he wasn't a full-time member of Blackstreet, he could have focused more on creating more music for everyone?
Man, I don't know. I think he could have juggled it. You know what I mean? I think he still could have been. It's just egos getting in the way, man. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with certain things, egos is getting in the way and people's being people getting in the way. So I don't think that, I think he could have did both.
Why does David Miller come out before you?
David Miller. Is it David Miller? The young boy?
Yeah, the little young boy.
Yeah, he's the one that did the video, the Hard to Handle video, before his album's supposed to come out, but it never came out. But the Hard to Handle video.
Yeah, I don't think his album came out. I think he just had the right single, because we didn't have Episode at that point or Master Plan. He just had the records. I was still working on my project. Like, I didn't even have those singles that, like, Episode or Master Plan. So it was just the records. Because Chat did most of my album. So Teddy hadn't even gotten to, like, doing my records yet. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. He came in at the end. Me and Chad had maybe 13 records already done.
And why didn't they just release that then? If you already had the songs?
Wow, come on now. You know Teddy is not going to release a project that doesn't have New Jack Swing signature on it as the basis of it. You know what I mean? So but that was the whole issue.
But the music had changed quite a bit from that whole New Jack Swing by that time. I mean, the sound during that time had changed.
It had, and that's where your problems come in. You know what I mean? Where, again, it's still him holding. A lot of that was him holding on to that still. You know what I mean? But like I said, he came in later. So by the time he came in with those records, like you said, things, and then you got to remember, Interscope dropped him. Capitol picked up the record. That's 2 years later. So you had 2 years in between.
Hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you love what you watched, there's over 100 artists that we've interviewed. So please check out the videos. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. But better still, become a member of Halftime Chat and get exclusive videos ahead of time. But thanks for watching. Take care.